Hey everybody, how's it going? Thank you for coming by. I'm here to do another talk on soulmate astrology, one of my favorite subjects. This is going to be an astrology only video, so for those of you who aren't into astrology, it probably won't be that interesting for you. But for myself, whenever I'm looking at people's charts and relationships, there's certain things I look for, certain points of contact and whatnot that denote the personality of the relationship, let's say. Because for me, I always say there's you, there's them, and the third energy is the relationship. That's how the Three of Cups in tarot is for me as well. Speaking of, when two people come together with cups of equal measure and start to share what they've got to offer, it creates that third energy. The cup runneth over, right? The third cup is the relationship. Speaking of cups, today we're going to talk about the moon in synastry. Up till now, I've been talking about some of the more obscure or out there points of contact or planets in a chart. In terms of soulmate astrology, well, we're dealing with things that happen on a soul level, and that goes well beyond our personality and truly our daily living. It's with us all the time, but also not always with us. Soulmates come in a lot of forms. It's not just about romantic love. We can be impacted on a soul level from many people we come into contact with, including family, friends, loved ones, all that. Soulmates, like I said, come in many different forms. And when you're doing relationship astrology, it's not just on romance either, a lot of the time. For the purposes of this video, I am going to focus on love, but you can apply these as they apply to any other relationship as well. One of the reasons I picked the moon to talk about today, of course, we're headed for a full moon in Taurus, so I would be remiss to not talk about the moon. But also for me as a relationship astrologer and a tarot reader, the moon is a very, very important planet in relationships. It's all about what's hidden, right? It's our emotional body, our intuition, our psychic energy, all of those kinds of things. So when you have somebody in your life where certain points of contact in their astrology touches your moon and vice versa, then it activates all of that kind of energy. The reason why I think it's so important in relationships, I always look for the moon. And it doesn't matter, as always, what if it's a trine, a sextile, an opposition, a square. As long as there's a contact, accessing the moon is so important in relationships because it's what guides us. It's our psychic self. It's our own intuition. When you have somebody who contacts your moon in your life, those things are sensed by them. And also, since the moon is what's hidden a lot of the time, that person may have the ability to bring up to you things that you don't see on an emotional level, on an intuitive level even. And of course, relationships are the best workshops for the heart, so that's very important. The moon talks about our love language. So somebody who contacts your moon is very important as well, because they're going to understand how you feel, what you sense, how your more abstract things play out. And again, now we take it into the psychic connection as well, because the moon is where our psychic energy lives. So depending on their point of contact, you could have a very psychic connection with somebody who has a contact to your moon. The moon moves 1 degree a day through the signs. So it's very shifting and changeable, of course. And the degrees of contact do matter when we're talking about the moon for that reason. But again, since I'm not so concerned, because even if somebody, say they have something that opposes your moon, that's a good thing too, because it's challenging your perceptions. It's asking you to step out of your emotional comfort zone to learn something new about yourself and how you function on that level. And again, only certain people and experiences are going to have the ability to sort of lead you that way. It takes a lot of courage to have a moon-based relationship, because really there's no hiding, there's no secrets involved in that situation. Let's say that, one of my favorite contacts for sure is Mars to the moon. First of all, very sexy. Now there could be intuitive moves on a sexual level happening there as well, because Mars, it's that, but also they do activate that kind of deeper part of yourself and take you towards that inner knowing. Mars is about courage. They actually live the parts of you that you may not see. And that can also bring about a transformation for you, and vice versa. So I do love Mars to the Moon. There's a nice activation there. And again, it's an important component in a relationship. I think it's very sexy. Now we have Venus to the Moon as well. Very soft, that contact, no matter how it lies. But Venus is about what brings us harmony. It's about love, yes. It's about comfort. Prosperity, too. Venus rules money. So when you have somebody with their Venus contacting your Moon, again, they could intuitively know how to nurture you or vice versa. There's a lot of romance in that situation. They speak your love language and vice versa. Or they have something to teach you about how you express your love or don't. That's very important with a Venus contact as well. I look at the Moon through the houses too. I'm going to do a separate video on why the houses are important. Very, very important. I look at the planets and the houses more than the signs as an astrologer and just in everyday life as well. The signs are about energy, but they're quite broad, so you can narrow it down by looking at the house. And if you take the energy of the ruling planets, it gives you a better picture of how it behaves, right? The planets themselves describe how the signs behave. So when you're doing synastry charts and the Moon in the houses, one of my favorite ones is Moon in the 8th house. The 8th house is Scorpio's house. It's about what's hidden. It's the psychic self. It's about what in the underworld. It's very, very, very deep to have somebody's Moon in contact with your 8th house, if it lives in there or if it's in contact somehow. In synastry, it depends on what you want in a relationship, right? You can look at the Moon in the 2nd house and say, is this person going to be beneficial, or this situation, to my comfort, to my money, to my security, to my stability? That's important as well. Of course it is, but it just depends on what you look at. For me, the 8th house, because it's all about that inner knowing of your true self. The Moon has the ability to light up things that are hidden from you, right? The things you can see, they fall under the sun. But when the Moon's in the 8th house, it's a different quality of light. It illuminates what's in the shadows of you. And that can be both horrifying and very enticing. So Moon in 8th house contacts for me is, it's very sexy for sure, but also very useful, because the Moon is a soft light, it's a soft energy. So it allows you to gently be exposed to your own underworld. It goes deep, man. I love Moon in the 8th house. We'll move to Moon in the 7th house too, because the 7th house is the house of partnerships and relationships. Somebody's Moon contact in your 7th house is very important for obvious reasons. The emotional connection, they speak your love language, right? So that's a good partnership. Of course, other things, astrology is like tarot. You never just want to look at one planet, one sign, one placement, or one card. That's not going to give you the holistic picture. But that said, when the Moon is in the 7th house, though, there's something very deep and psychic happening on that level in terms of love and romance. Libra rules the 7th house. It's about what harmonizes with you and what gives you that sense of balance. So actually, somebody with a challenging contact in your 7th house, like if their Moon is square something in your 7th house, or it falls there and it squares the ruler of your house, I know that's complicated. But let's say it's a non-harmonious contact that takes place. It's still very, very beneficial, because it's going to expose things about you that are out of balance and need to be brought into your awareness to create a better balance. Again, the Moon is things we can't see even. And since relationships are mirrors, that has the ability to reveal, like I said, things that are otherwise hidden from you. On an intuitive level, when you have heavy moon contacts or moon energy and synastry, there can, again, be a very telepathic emotional connection. You might find that you actually can co-dream. Yeah, that's a thing. You can enter each other's dream spaces without even knowing as well. Again, that can be challenging. As beautiful as the moon is, sometimes it shows things that you haven't looked at in a very long time. And that can bring up all kinds of issues. The moon is the mother, and it rules the 4th house of the zodiac. So it can also be having to do, this person who has those moon contacts with you could have something to do with healing issues from your childhood as well. That said, the moon to Chiron is something I also look for. Chiron is our deepest unhealed wound and what prevents us from moving forward and creating a change and hope in our lives. If somebody's moon is in contact with your Chiron, again, imagine what can happen there. There's an intuitive knowing of where your pain is. There's an intuitive understanding of the things that maybe you don't even know. And there's also a healing energy, because the moon, again, is very healing. It's very soft light. So moon to Chiron is challenging, yeah, but also very potentially healing and also illuminating. So that's a good contact to have. Moon, where else would I put that? Another contact that I kind of do look for too, I'll move it down to the 6th house. Now again, it depends on what you look for in a relationship. But for me, the 6th house is important because it's about sustainability and what makes us healthy, the routines we set, the things that nurture us. If they have a moon contacting your 6th house, then there's sort of a symbiotic understanding there as well. I hope all that makes sense. But the moon, it's constantly fluctuating, right? So a heavy moon relationship is going to also have those emotional fluctuations in them. And there is a need to but very much surrender and go with the flow of that. And understand that whatever gets revealed in these moony relationships is going to be for your own benefit. Always, depending on what you do with it. I'm going to do a little mini reading, actually. I just decided to, you guys. I want to. Let's do your moon sign. How about that? And let's just see what's coming up for you in love based on your moon. How about that? I just feel like we need it with this full moon in Taurus. Let's start off with Scorpio. We are in Scorpio season, so if you have moon in Scorpio, or your person does, let's get a love reading for them. Getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Well, that very much describes what I was just saying about the moon, right? Your innermost self and the deepening of bonds. Scorpio, if you have a Scorpio moon, that could be the case. That's challenging with a Scorpio moon. It's a very private, very guarded energy most of the time. And when the moon is there too, it's like that's a very psychic position to have. And revealing yourself to other people that way emotionally, yeah, we have let go of control issues on the bottom of the deck, Scorpio. Letting yourself be seen emotionally in that way is very challenging for a fixed water energy. All right, let's go to Saggy. If you have a Sag moon, one of my favorite moons, the eternal optimist, but also it gives you a good vision. This could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. Sag. Nice. And on the bottom of the deck, getting to know each other. We're still talking about the moon here, right? As you reveal your innermost self. So it's okay for you to be a little bit vulnerable in this situation, Sag. You're already thinking this could be the one anyway. Okay. Let's go to Cappy. What do we have? If you have a Capricorn moon or you're dealing with somebody who does. Soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. Wow. In case you were wondering, it is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. Capricorn moon is also quite a protective moon. You know, Cappies are way more sensitive than they get credit for. The opposite sign of Capricorn is Cancer. So hidden below the surface of Capricorn is that deep emotional and vulnerable energy. It just doesn't always show, right, Cappy? Because it's kind of like, you got to be careful who you let in. Okay. A Capricorn moon also appreciates a lot of stability too. And that could be a very important, like if you're going to be vulnerable, you got to feel safe, right? We're moving on to Aquarius, but the card flew. All right, Aquarius. Engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. And separation, time apart from your partner, is on the horizon. Okay, let me see what's on the bottom for you if you have an Aquarius moon. Getting to know each other. Is everybody getting that on the bottom of the deck? That's crazy. I put it back in random order here, you guys. But engagement, your love, time apart from your partner. Okay, there could be a moment of quiet right now between you and somebody that you already know. And it's about to get deeper for sure. Getting to know each other and engagement is like deepening the connection. Now, Aquarius, this could be you taking a bit of space to sort of integrate. Let me see what separation's going on here. Yeah, it's like a time of rest and integration for you. But there's something about to happen here. It's about to get deeper. And that it's like the calm before the storm, Aquarius. Pisces. If you have a Pisces moon, what a sweet placement. That's such a poetic placement in my eyes. Pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. Underneath. Children. Your love life is being affected by children. There could, okay, obviously there could be a situation involving children between you and this person. It could be something to do with this person. Maybe you're dating a single parent. Maybe you're with a single parent. And there could be something involving the kids that's actually giving you a bit of a pause for concern. Pisces, I'm going to get you one more because that's pretty cryptic. Let's get a different one for Pisces. Okay. Healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. And pay attention to the red flags. Okay, yeah. I mean, there could be issues involving kids in this person's life. Or you could have children between the two of you, and there could be a problem to do with that. Something about kids, and it's giving you a cause for concern, Pisces. It could have something to do with your own childhood stuff as well. Definitely. Because that's where your red flags could be coming from, if you get what I mean. Sometimes we see red flags just because we've been kind of triggered. Okay. Aries. Let go of control issues. Allow this situation to unfold naturally. Make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. So it's kind of like, don't try to hold back or strategize. This could be you or another person. But if it's another person, same rule applies. They could be holding back, trying to strategize, trying to keep control of this situation. And what it's saying is that it is unfolding naturally. Take the steps you're guided to take, not the ones that you plan to take. Because that's a little too controlling, right? It's saying to listen to your heart more. All right. Taurus. What do we have for Taurus? Honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. And make the effort for you. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. You could be working with an Aries here. But honeymoon and make the effort. Yeah, this could be just about you guys planning some time alone together. To actually really invest in your relationship, to really apply some focused emotional attention. And it might require that you get away alone together to be able to do that. it could be a bit of a risk for you, Taurus. Taurus moons aren't all about risk, that's for sure. Taurus is all about what keeps us safe and, what nurtures us. But this is saying that it's worth making the effort. So you could be getting asked to step out of your comfort zone and actually go somewhere with somebody. Put in the time. Okay. It might, again, you might be afraid of something there, Taurus. Gemini, worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. It's on the bottom. Attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. And worth waiting for. Okay, so Gemini, what it's saying, this is a very similar message to what Aries got as well. But in a sense, what it's saying is that the angels, the above, the beyond, is at work in this situation. It will happen the way it should, and you got to trust that. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. So don't sit in the stress and worry about that, Gemini. Now, Gemini moons can definitely be overthinkers for sure. Okay. Cancer, if you have a Cancer moon. Very intuitive placement. I love Cancer moon. It is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. All right. Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moment. So Cancer, you could be keeping yourself quite guarded. And it might have to do with something in your past that actually caused you a lot of emotional pain. Whether it has to do with secrets being kept from you, or there's a fear of vulnerability in a sense here. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love and open your heart. It is safe. That's what it's saying, Cancer. So I get the feeling many of you or somebody around you doesn't feel safe to express their emotions for some reason. Fear, doubt, Leo. Religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. And new love on the bottom of the deck. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. There could be a lot of differences in your belief systems. Leo, I'm going to get one more for you. Between yourself and this person. Keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual types and expectations. Yeah. So for you, Leo, I think you've met somebody who's quite unlike you. And that might be giving you pause for concern. It could be vice versa, but it could be a difference in how you view the world or your faith, your belief systems. This keep an open mind, of course, is asking you to step out of your comfort zone that way. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. So again, it could have something to do with your childhood beliefs as well, like inherited beliefs from family. This is going outside your usual realm. If you have a Leo moon. Virgo. What do we have for Virgo? It fell on the floor. Virgo, you got pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. And then on the bottom, we have love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. That is mysterious too. Let's get one more for Virgo. Not two, that's too many. One more for Virgo. The signs are cautioning you. Oh, deception. Someone is wearing a false self-mask in this relationship. Well, that doesn't look too good, Virgo. Whether that's you or somebody else, they're not really showing you who they truly are. And that's causing you some concern with this pay attention to the red flags. Anytime I see this card, to me, it's always just kind of like it's bringing up a fear in you. And you're watching for it now. And deception came out with that as well. So that's interesting. There's something here that you know isn't true. And it doesn't, deception, it just means somebody's not being who they truly are. And that could be why the red flags are running for you, Virgo. It doesn't mean that who they, oh, look at, because now we have engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. So they're just not revealing it to you, and that's making you think there's red flags going on because you know that they're fronting for something. But what goes behind that didn't feel like it was a negative, though, Virgo. Okay. Interesting. Libra. What do we have for Libra? Keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. Dealing with a Leo for Libra. Finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. Okay. And on the bottom of the deck, honeymoon. That's spending time alone together. Financial issues. It could be for you, Libra, that the person you're involved with isn't, again, your usual type. Maybe it's that you usually go for more stability in your relationships. It might be for you as well, though, that you don't have enough stability in your finances and career right now. Nevertheless, I think this person views money more differently than you do. Whether or not for them it's more important or you it's more important, something like that, but that's what I'm getting here. But it doesn't look like it's going to be a major issue. We have honeymoon, spend some time alone together here on the bottom of the deck. So financial issues might be also about being able to afford to spend some time with this person. Yeah, there could be a money constraint going on. Definitely. Okay, that's what I have for you guys. I hope that was interesting to you. I hope it helped. Check out some of the moon relationships you've had in your life. I know for me, when I look back over my romantic history, I have so many different experiences with people with the same moon sign. So there could be something to that for me as well. I've looked into that a lot. See if you can notice a pattern like that in your own relationships. It's very interesting. Leave a comment below if you guys feel like it. Drop your moon sign. I'm always interested to know. And I'll talk to you really soon. I love you guys.